floor. The gameplay itself is based around dealing enough damage to generate a finisher move, and hoping that said finisher move will either be enough to keep your opponent on the ground or cause a KO, finishing the match completely. Now weapons on the other hand can be a mixed bag. As useful as they may seem within any game mode, they are somewhat a hindrance to what the player can actually do. They don't deal a massive amount of damage and you are very limited to what kind of strikes can be pulled off whilst holding one. There is no grapple with a weapon in this original incarnation of 𝓕𝓐𝓲𝓲𝓏 engine, though there is the ability to throw weapons. The worst thing is they are incredibly easy to be taken away from you, with a simple grapple or strike completely knocking a weapon from your hands almost immediately. When a weapon is stationary, it's almost as though they don't exist. A chair may be dormant on the ground, but can't be slammed into or interacted with outside of picking it up, which is a shame. Finishers are an interesting concept as well. Obviously every wrestler needs one, some even need two, but in this title every wrestler is just stuck with one. With secondary more important finishers like the rock bottom unfortunately being negated to just a standard grapple attack, and Taker's chokeslam being seen as a secondary big grapple move, and the tombstone being his important proper finisher. So if a toe kick isn't necessary, then how exactly do you execute said finisher moves? Well, you need to essentially knock your opponent down and then pick them straight back up. This will have them in a groggy-like state. Such a stagger is the number one in which you can hit your finisher move, or your superstar's favourite grappling move. A grapple move slightly more dangerous than the standard. In an interesting twist in this first title, it feels as though it's almost impossible to trigger said groggy state with strikes, something that would become crucial going forward. And playing into the arcade-like gameplay, there is also no attempt to add anything that resembles a weight detection system, meaning guys like 𝓕𝖆𝖞𝓓𝖐 could pick up above their heads the heaviest guy on the roster, and leaving guys like The Undertaker able to perform a tombstone on the Big Show without failure. Again, not a negative, it just isn't really needed in this title, but definitely worth being noted.
SmackDown contains several different areas for you to fight in. The obvious is the ring itself, the entranceway, which leads to even more questions if I'm honest. There's the hallway backstage with all its interactables, including doorways to other areas, drink machines, and a random assortment of weapons. There's the boiler room, complete with machinery that can be Irish lit into, and a few different weapons littered around this environment. There's the kitchen with a little platform in the middle of it, a sink and ovens that can cause fire to shoot out of them when whipped into. There's the parking lot, which contains an ambulance, which gives way to a gurney, as well as a forklift parked and multiple cars dotted around that give a small animation and increased damage when used. There's cage matches, matchups for whatever reason tend to take quite a long time to complete fully, but still pretty cool that they're included in this title. There's handicap matches, which include 2 and 3 on 1 match types, where the gameplay is again so fast I actually managed to win one of these matches. There's tag team matches that include tag team entrances for established stables. So, what's missing? Well, there's the ladder match, the casket match, buried alive, ambulance, stretcher, hell in a cell, but there is special referee. You can DQ, count out, count the pin, interfere and taunt in this match type, and that's about it.